Hey guys, I want to talk about a particular dynamic that happens with these conditions, CFS, fibromyalgia, that makes recovery difficult and just makes this whole thing difficult. And that is the fact that I have never heard of anyone who just has steady symptoms. The typical thing is that they wax and wane. Some days are better, some days are worse. Some days are surprisingly good, actually, and some days are really, really bad. And it's hard to detect any pattern, Out of nowhere, a day could come that you just feel like crap. So you don't make plans with your friends, because you don't know. How am I going to feel the day after tomorrow? Or in a week? Who knows what's going to happen to me in a week? And as you progress, the dynamic doesn't change, meaning there are still better days and worse days, and some days that you feel really crappy, but you're functioning at a higher level. At least that's been my experience. And so, especially on the bad days, of course, it's very hard to see past the symptoms. So each time you have like a bad day or a bad period, it's yet another chance to give up, to get discouraged. And it's very important during those times to remind yourself that, hey, everything is okay. This is a part of the process, But the fact that symptoms change day to day, it creates uncertainty. And uncertainty equals anxiety, and anxiety equals amplification of symptoms. So it feeds back into this dynamic, The fact that symptoms wax and wane creates uncertainty, which creates anxiety, which feeds back into this dynamic of symptom amplification, being sensitized to sensory input, being sensitized to pain, to fatigue, to everything, and experiencing symptoms. So it's important just to be aware of this, so that you can, when you're having those bad days or bad weeks even, you can say, oh, this is another dynamic that if I don't stay vigilant about what it's doing to me, mentally, the impact it's having, if I don't sort of take control and decide, that what this means, then my brain will just automatically come to conclusions that are not going to be helpful for my recovery, So so I wanted to bring that to light, so that it's kind of top of your mind. And if you're sitting at home and you're not feeling well, you can realize that, oh, maybe this dynamic is what's playing into it right now for me. And the other thing is, bit by bit, start planning things in the future. And even if you feel bad, see if you can do them anyway. Maybe not to the same degree you were planning, but just go, Maybe it's a risk, because it sucks to go out when you're not feeling well, but this is what I've done. For example, if I made plans to go out, first of all, the anxiety begins the moment you start planning something. Somebody invites you, or you want to invite someone or something, or you see an event posted. The anxiety already begins. Oh, what's gonna, am I going to be able, how am I going to feel that day? So already that's the first moment that the dynamic, kicks off. So right there you got to say, okay, I know what's happening. Uncertainty, generating anxiety. This is not good for me. Let's calm down. Let's breathe. Let's relax. Let's think about this differently. Then you gotta sometimes say, okay, I'm gonna attend this event. I'm gonna make these plans, and then that's gonna, again, once you commit, I find once you say yes, for me there's another spike in anxiety. Okay, I've said yes, so now I have kind of two worries. I said yes. Am I going to be able? Am I going to be okay? Like, I'm worried that I'll have like a bad day or more symptoms that day that of the event. But also because I'm a very conscientious person, and a lot of us are who experience these kinds of symptoms, I'm worried about letting this person down or letting whatever somebody down. Like, oh, what if I can't make it, and it becomes even more anxiety. And that doesn't help at all. That only amplifies the pain and the fatigue, whatever else, because when you feel threatened in some way, socially or physically or whatever, that tends to amplify symptoms, right? So you've made plans now, you've soothed your initial anxiety when you first encountered the invite of the event, then you made the step forward to agree to attend, to make the plans, and then you got a spike in anxiety, and then you soothe it. And then as the day approaches, you might get into like these budgeting type thoughts, like, oh, okay, I gotta like really pace myself, and make sure, and like maybe the day before. And I'm not saying don't do that. I do think you gotta build up gradually, right? So when you make that commitment to do something like an event or an invite, make sure it's close to your current level of functioning, right? Not too far outside. Don't sign up for a marathon your first day. But when you get those budgeting type thoughts, notice the energy that comes with them, the anxiety, the fear, the worry. Oh my God, am I going to be able to or not able to? You know what? If worst comes to worst, if it's really bad and you just want to give yourself a break, you can cancel. It's okay. It'll be fine. Yeah. But once you're aware of everything as it's happening step by step, and the anxiety subsides a bit, it becomes a virtuous circle. It's slow. It's bit by bit. It's not like, oh, you just do this and you're fine. It's you got to change the dynamic. You got to take control of the dynamic. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck. I was stuck for years and years and years. So then the day of the event comes, and then you might get a spiking anxiety on the day, because okay, today it's like I gotta perform, like I gotta go, I gotta make this happen. And when that fear comes, there's just maybe I shouldn't, maybe there's see if you can just not cancel and just follow through and soothe the anxiety along the way, Then finally you get to the event, it goes well or it doesn't go well, and once it's over and you're sort of back, your mind is already on the lookout for the consequences. If it was like a big thing, you're already like, oh, am I feeling worse because I did this thing? And maybe you are feeling worse, and so what? You know what happened. Anxiety increased, the fear increased, the sense of threat increased because of the way we're processing these things. Now, none of this is our fault. This is a very normal thing given the society we live in, given the current state of the medical system and how it treats these kinds of conditions and the current level of understanding. It all feeds into us developing these kind of mental behavioral patterns. This is absolutely normal. I mean, I did it. Everybody I've seen basically did it. It's not, none of this is to blame ourselves in any way. This is just to understand what is happening and how we can turn it around. I hope you found this helpful. I think this dynamic of waxing and waning symptoms does complicate things further. It's important to be aware of it, and it's important to consciously manage it each step of the way. And sometimes you're going to forget, and you're going to go on autopilot with fear and anxiety and uncertainty and worry. That's okay. Catch yourself. When you catch yourself, give yourself a break. Gently return to the task at hand, which is soothing and bit by bit increasing your function. All right, good luck to you. Let me know what you think about this. If you found this helpful, just comment, like, subscribe, all that. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.